talking about my way, so I thought I will come over and say hello.
Independent teen musical sensation Ryan Beatty has grown from a kid making YouTube videos into one of the most popular emerging acts in music. His success prompted his whole family to move to Los Angeles and led Justin Bieber, a fan of Beatty's, to record a cover of Beatty's song, Every Little Thing. I talked with Beatty, his mother, and his manager about his success.
When I first started out and posting videos on YouTube with my sister, you know, she had a channel and she really wanted me to make videos with her, and I was kind of, you know, I was like, for sure, you know, I think I was in like 7th grade at the time, and so posted a video with her, and it was more of just like something that we did just for fun, and you know, it wasn't something I never had this like idea that from this, you know, it would be, you know, I would be able to from that go and record my own songs, and things like this would be happening to me.
Ryan's mother, Caleen, is a choir teacher at 2 LA elementary schools. She said the musical family recognized Ryan's talent for music at a young age.
He was in this play, 13, and I saw him on stage, and just that's when it really hit me that there's something there and that he needs to be able to pursue it. I mean, he had standing ovations, people were moved in the audience and were crying, and I think that's when my husband and I first thought, wow, this kid, there's something here. You know, he was a kid at the time because he was only 14 in the play. It was a 13, but we thought he moved this audience to tears, and there's some passion here.
Oh, yeah.
Moving to LA has positioned Ryan to work with producers and perform on show tours with major teen idols such as Cody Simpson and Zendaya Coleman. What is your ultimate dream as a musical artist?
I think, you know, I definitely have like a few goals here and there, and I think what's great about it all is that by the time you reach, you know, a goal, you can just reset it, and you know, especially.
But what do you want it to be? What do you want?
I think that, I mean, I've never been happier when I'm in the studio. I think that's my favorite place ever to be. So.
Oh, and you smile at me, you know exactly what you do.
I always obviously want to continue working on my music, but you know, if it can be something where I can go out there and have my music and it kind of reaches out to people and it touches people's lives, because you know, music is such a way for people to, you know, kind of, when you listen to your favorite song and it puts you in that really good mood, that's what I kind of want, you know, for people to be able to hear my music or go to one of my shows and just be nothing but happy.
Smiling next to Oprah and the Queen.
Even though Ryan was the main driver of his YouTube success, he says he still hasn't warmed up to the notion of viewing the music industry as a business.
I don't see myself as a business. I don't know what other people see me as.
Okay.
I'm just me, and you know, I think getting into all of it, I never really have thought about it as me being like, you know, people will say like, oh, the product or the, you know, like you say, the business, and I'm myself and I am what I am, and if people like that, that's great, and I think that's what I really want to show people, is that I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna be myself to the music that I like, and that's, I'm kind of just going with the flow with it all.
So who had the business sense to get Ryan to the point that he's already reached?
In the beginning, somebody had to be business savvy. For him to go from this kid that was singing in the living room and in the church to having millions of views on YouTube. Was that him, or was that you as parents?
Oh no, it wasn't us. That was him. That was him. When he decided, I didn't even know what he was doing. He was in his room on the bunk beds, because there's lots of videos of him.
Now that she's back in the atmosphere, the drops of Jupiter in the head.
Ryan says his supportive family is a big part of his success.
You know, I think that I'm surrounded by great people, and I have 4 older sisters and a younger. I have a big family, so they really keep me grounded. And I'm very opinionated, so anything, you know, I'm always out there like, nope, like, you know, sometimes that might kill me, you know, being too opinionated, you know, about things, being like, nope, I can't do that, I can't do that. As in, like, you know, from the beginning, I wouldn't say stubborn, but like, people would give me these songs that weren't me, and I was like, I'm not gonna just, you know, do what's kind of popular. I want to do the music that I like, and so that's why, you know, I've you know, found the team that I've liked because they've let me do that. You know, they've let me kind of create myself as the artist that I want to be, rather than someone coming in and being like, this is what you're gonna look like, this is what you're gonna wear, you know, this is how you're gonna sound. I've created the sound myself, and obviously with producers' help and things like that, but explaining what I want and how I want, I'm very on top of it like that.
Ryan's manager, DJ Skee, has worked with multi-platinum artist The Game and many other artists. Knowing there are lots of young singers with a following on YouTube, he says he wasn't immediately on board with Ryan, but that changed quickly.
Right after we met with him, he's like, oh, let's go to City Walk, and Ryan tweeted that he was going to be up there. This is before he's the Ryan Beatty that's today. This is when he's first starting off, and he went up, and then I was like, oh, I can't make it, you guys go have fun. So then a radio producer was blowing me up like, hey, you got to get up here. I'm like, I can't. So he sent me a video. I opened it on my phone, and there's like 50 girls sitting there waiting for him already. So the second I saw that, like, it's one thing to have a great voice. It's another thing to have good numbers online. But when you're really getting that, you know, attention in person and engaging fans like that, that's when I knew it was over. And we made our way to do that deal ASAP. So,
how was your life before, and how has it changed?
My life before I moved out to LA, I feel like I'm the same person, and my family. We're all the same, but it's just our surroundings have changed. You know, I wouldn't say that it's changed me, but it's definitely changed. You know, the fact that my friends are, you know, 3.5 hours away from me, and we always used to hang out. I you know, was really close with my friends, and it's great though because they can come visit me out here, and they love being in Los Angeles, so it's more of an excuse for them to come out here. But you know, I was in regular high school, and I can't say that I do miss you know, regular high school a little bit, because all my friends are like, you're so lucky, you know, you have this online school. But I'm like, I miss going to having, like, being around my friends and like going to the school dances and things like that, and I can still do that, but it's like, it's not like you feel like a part of the school, you know what I'm saying?
But it sounds like you know that you need to make this sacrifice in order to make your dream happen.
Yeah, so you know, making the sacrifice as in giving something up for something better. That's how I see it, you know. I may miss little things like the football games at my old high school, or the, you know, just the regular dances there, or the things in my hometown, and I still do visit there. But you know, this is what I've always wanted to do, and you always have to sacrifice things for something else that's more important and more of what I want. So.
Do you have haters? Do you have people that tell you you're not going to make it, you shouldn't be doing this?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And how does that affect you?
When I first posted my first video, and that's one thing I was kind of skeptical about. I think it wasn't necessarily holding me back, because I'm the kind of person to be like, you know, I love what I do, and if anyone tries to tell me, oh, that's not cool, or that's, you know, that's whack, or whatever, you know, kids would say.
Have they said that? What kind of things have happened?
The comments haven't been, you know, too bad, but there's definitely been here and there people like saying, you know, whether they make fun of my looks, or I remember seeing the first one and being like, what the heck? And I think I even replied to it like, hey man, like, that's not cool, I'm just doing what I love. But then I remember seeing this one comment, I'll never forget it. It said like, why won't you reply to me? Like, I love your music, but yet you replied to this one hater, and he doesn't even like your music, so why are you paying attention to that? And I remember seeing that and being like, it really hit me, and so I was like, you know what, that's what I need to go by. Just don't even look at that, and you know, I'll see it, but don't even take the time to acknowledge it, because there's gonna be 100 people who love what I do and love my music, and then there's one person who will say something like, oh, I hate your music, or something like that. I can't look at that. I have to look at the people, pay attention to them, and thank them for what they do, rather than, you know, focusing on that. So that's kind of how I've gotten about it.
But you make it a point to say that you don't really have the same musical style as Justin Bieber. You mentioned John Mayer, that you're more close to him. Why is it important for you to make that distinction that you're not necessarily like Justin Bieber?
I think that Justin Bieber's like incredibly talented, and his last album was amazing. And like when someone compares me to him, it's more of like, I think that people just kind of say that nowadays, like, oh, the next Justin Bieber, or he's the next Justin Bieber. He's, you know what I'm saying? They say it because of he was such a, you know, I feel like he was the first one coming from, he posted videos on YouTube, and he was the first one to really like get huge from that and go on to a real artist and become like, you know, this phenomenon that's, you know, that is one of the biggest artists to this day, you know, right now. And so I feel like that might be why, because I got started on YouTube and like that. But it's like we have completely different musical styles. We have completely different backgrounds and stories, and grew up completely differently, you know, and different, even different, like he looks up to, you know, this artist or that artist, but we look up even to totally different artists. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like once people hear my music, it changes.
I knew right from the start that you would have my heart, so now it's here in your hands.
DJ Skee thinks Ryan has made a wise decision in making sure he maintains his own identity as opposed to trying to be Justin Bieber 2.0.
A lot of people probably would think that you should have attached yourself to Justin Bieber when he posted that song of Ryan's on the internet. Ryan is very respectful of Justin Bieber. He says he respects his work, but he's gone to great lengths to differentiate himself and say that he has a different sound. Why have you done that?
I think the sound is totally different. No two artists are alike. Ryan gets compared to it just because of age, but age isn't the only thing in music. There's just so many different styles.
Does it hurt him in some way too, that he could be kind of shaped as this, or looked at as this copy of Justin Bieber?
Look, I always like to say, I think your greatest blessings are your greatest, you know, curses sometimes. And for sure, I think, you know, there's a lot of people that might look at Ryan and just instantly think teen pop star and not realize that, you know, the music he's making, he listens to John Mayer, he listens to, you know, Jason Mraz. Like, that's all he sings all day, and that's kind of the lane he wants to go into, versus, you know, Bieber, who has Usher behind him, who's making more urban music. And, you know, I've known Bieber since, you know, his manager Scooter. I was the first person he called the night he found him on YouTube and asked me to watch him because he knew I was up in the West Coast. So I've seen his career progress, and they've done such an incredible job. So I think there's great things that we can learn from them, and Scooter's actually been instrumental in helping me and giving me advice with, you know, what to do with Ryan, since he's been through, you know, a teenage sensation, but at the same time, it's a total different lane. And, you know, we're just about getting Ryan out there. It's great that he has these millions of girls that are after him for his looks and style and all those things, but, you know, I think there's a whole other generation of fans that are going to find out about him once they hear the music and say, wow, this dude is legit. Like, he has a soul in his voice that, you know, is very, 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 you know, rare to find.
And if the stars fell from the sky, I'll pick them up for you, baby, 'cause you're the only reason why I wake up in the morning, baby.
Before I had any management, people would like message me on YouTube or even hit me up on Twitter and be like, yeah, you know, listen to this track. And I'd been interested in doing my own music, so I'd be like, yeah, let's hear it. And I'd kind of explain, you know, what I liked, and they would send me the track, and it'd be like, you know, this very pop, you know, synthesizer, things like that I didn't want. And so it was very, you know, frustrating at the beginning to be like, no, 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 I don't like that, I don't like that, no, no, you know, I don't like that sound, I was very picky about that. But it's like, I could have gone that way. I could have taken that that route of being like the, you know, the really pop sound, or the regular, you know, that you hear on the radio. But I've always, you know, growing up, wanted to be something completely other than that. And so working on my music now and being able to get in the studio and having a clear understanding and being able to explain what I like and my sound and explaining it, it's like I don't want the fast track. I don't want the fast lane. I don't want the easy way. Be like, oh, I can put this out, this song that will be a #1, and
I can ride Justin Bieber's coattail.
A little bit like that, but I don't want to go the fast track. I'd rather, you know, kind of grow it and make it kind of like my own sound, not just what's going to be popular or what's going to be what everybody wants. I would rather take something and make it my own and then make it popular rather than it be like doing what somebody else is doing.
No matter what happens with Ryan Beatty, one thing is clear: his family will be there to support his dream.
Do you want him to have a backup plan in case he doesn't make it, or is that something you don't even want to think about because you want him to stay focused on his dream?
We've talked about that. We have talked about a backup plan. I think it's smart to always, you know, and he has talked about it. He does. There's so many things he wants to do that he doesn't have a problem.
So is there a backup plan, and what is it?
Well, he's talked about going to school, and of course he'll do music at school because that's what he loves to do. So he does have a backup plan. But you're right, we usually just live in the one day at a time and kind of just focus on today and just let him enjoy every moment, because everything he's been so blessed and everything that he gets to do now is just a blessing.
For the Business of Celebrity, I'm Lee Hawkins.
Know the charmer, forgot the field. Mississippi moonshine.
There was a point where the industry was Ivy League, you know what I'm saying? As, you know, now it's become community college, you know what I'm saying? You know, there's no criteria, no qualifications that you have to have, you know what I'm saying?